Hello, my witches. I know I haven't done a video in a while. Trying to keep up with my classes and with my channel, but I've been getting a lot of messages, emails, even calls. People asking my thoughts on the alleged American Council of Witches. If you're on Facebook, I think that's the only place the thing exists. Somebody started a Facebook page calling themselves the American Council of Witches, and that they had a legal team and all these alleged clergy. Nobody knows who they are. I haven't heard of any reputable person involved with this group. They're calling themselves the American Council of Witches, and apparently they've allegedly gotten something together to meet and decide policy for all of us. So you can imagine that's not going over well. Matter of fact, there have been duplicate fake Facebook pages using the same name and just pretty much talking shit about the American Council of Witches. And everybody else on their pages is pretty much all pissed off about it. So, little piece of history. 1974, the American Council of Witches met, I believe it was called the Minneapolis Witch Meet, and they produced a couple of documents. They say a couple of documents, but I only remember the one, 13 Principles of Wiccan Belief. And the story is there was so much infighting in that group that it disbanded shortly after coming up with that document, which wasn't a bad document. Problem with even trying to do something like this is the same problem they had before. People were pissed off at these people just declaring themselves authority figures. Now, with some of you younger folk, have to understand, this was way before the internet. It was amazing that they were able to organize anything and get anybody together to do anything, but even back then, all the witches that weren't there were pissed off that these people had declared themselves authority figures and were going to decide policy for everyone else. However, in the times of the 70s, that's early witchcraft organizing here in the United States of America, and back then, Wicca was becoming the primary definition for most witchcraft. All witchcraft, public witchcraft, was being defined as Wicca, fell under the umbrella. Most people didn't really have a problem with that because it was a way to organize. And as I've oft said, the Wicca experiment it was a PR campaign, and a PR campaign needed to happen because all we had was centuries of bad PR, bad stories about witches, and things like the Wiccan Rede needed to be professed and needed to be spewed out every time anybody talked in public. They had to throw the Wiccan Rede out there to get people to fear us less. So maybe it could be said that it was appropriate at the time, 1974, to have such a meeting and try and organize something. But as I said, it worked out pretty much like this one's working out. But now we're in the information age, so everybody knows about it right away. It's not going to happen. It's not going to go over well. There's already flame wars about this. There's already people flaming on the Facebook page, the American Council of Witches. So what I was asked, what's my take on it? Well, my take on it is it's absolute bullshit. It's not going to work. Nobody's going to go along with what they say. And now, in this day and age, 2015, witchcraft is extremely harder to define and to narrow down and get it to fit in the framework of something like Wicca. There's way too much out there. There's forms of witchcraft that don't even call themselves witchcraft anymore. All the different folk magics, the hoodoo, the conjure, varying Catholicism, witchcraft. There's versions of Strega that are very much like Catholicism. Santeria is very much like Catholicism, and what they're doing would was at least previously called witchcraft. Using objects and candles and things like that to cause change in the external world in accordance with your will was defined as witchcraft. And but there's a lot of other versions of it out there now that are not defining themselves as witchcraft. Don't want to have anything to do with Wicca. They don't have a Wiccan Rede. It's an extremely inappropriate time for them to try and do that. I mean, we're debating the word warlock now, trying to figure out if that's now an acceptable term. The witchcraft world is huge, vast, and diverse, and should be, and nobody's going to be able to organize it under some umbrella organization, define principles for it. Basically, nobody asked you. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody empowered you to do that. There is no council. What are we on Bewitched? There's no council of witches, and especially an American council of witches. No, maybe you didn't read your history. We were born a rebellion. We tend to be a rebellious people, especially when people come along and try and tell us what to do, and as self-proclaimed authority figures. Not going to happen. So that's my take on it. Absolute bullshit. Don't buy into it. Don't get involved in it. And yeah, absolutely, get on their Facebook page and give them shit. Say, who the hell do you people think you are? Where the hell do you people get off? And who appointed you? Who made you king? We didn't vote for you for king. Get out of there, American Council of Witches. All right, that's my 2 cents on it. And hopefully I'll be seeing you soon. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again.